Today we're in Romans 12:9, and Paul is talking to the Romans about what a true Christian looks like. This is kind of cool because it's just literally a list of what we should look like as Christians. And I feel like today this is more important than ever, because a lot of people say with their mouths that they follow God and they're Christians, but do their actions actually reflect it? And that goes for all of us. So I want to read this list quickly. Then what I'm going to do is kind of recap it into a few words that we can really remember that should help us do all of these things. So first, let love be genuine. Abhor what is evil. Hold fast to what is good. Outdo one another in sharing honor. Be fervent in spirit and serve the Lord. Rejoice in hope and be patient in tribulation. Be constant in prayer. Contribute to the needs of the saints. Seek to show hospitality. Bless those who persecute you, and do not curse them. Rejoice with those who rejoice. Weep with those who weep. Live in harmony with one another. Do not be haughty, but associate with the lowly. Never be wise in your own sight. Repay no one evil for evil. Do what is honorable in the sight of all. If possible, live peacefully with all. Never avenge yourselves. Leave it to God. Do not be overcome by evil, but overcome evil with good. So those are kind of the recap of all the things Paul tells them of what a true Christian looks like and what we should strive to look like on a daily basis. And I've kind of put this into 4 words that I thought really tie everything well together. And the first is spirit-led. So Paul told us earlier in Romans that there's 2 parts of us. We have the Spirit of Christ inside of us, and we also have our flesh still. And while we're on this earth, we struggle between being Spirit-led or flesh-led. And so a true Christian is led by the Spirit. So we're not just a slave to our flesh. We're not a slave to our sinful desires, but we are striving to be filled with the Spirit every single day and make decisions and act on Spirit-led decisions and actions. So that's the first thing, Spirit-led. The second thing is humble. It's like most of these things in here. Never be wise in your own sight. Do not be haughty. Associate with the lowly. Live in harmony with one another. Bless those who persecute you. Seek to show hospitality. All of these things, if you are acting from a humble heart where you don't think you're better than everyone and you're seeking to help anyone regardless of what you get back or regardless of how rich they are or how famous they are, you will start doing these things. So first is spirit-led. Second is being humble. It's just knowing that you are just a sinner who deserves grace, just like, or who doesn't deserve grace but has obtained it through Jesus, just like any other person on the earth. I'm not better than any of you guys. You guys aren't better than anyone else. We're all broken sinners. And so humility, if you act in humility, you will actually start living out these things. So spirit-led, humble. Next is forgiving. This is probably the hardest one. If I have to be honest, this one is tough, Repay no one evil for evil. Do what is honorable in the sight of all. Never avenge yourselves. I don't know about you guys, but I'm really kind of an eye for an eye person, like at my core. Like I really like to, if someone like hits me, I want to hit back. But that's not what Jesus did. And that's not what we should do. We should be forgiving, knowing that we forgive those just as God forgave us. That's why we forgive. So spirit-led, humble, forgiving. And the last thing I feel like people probably won't really think about, but I kind of see it throughout all of these points, is present. So it says live in harmony with one another. It says rejoice with those who rejoice and weep with those who weep. Show hospitality. Contribute to the needs of the saints. Be constant in prayer. Be fervent in spirit, serving the Lord. We have to be present. And this is one that I feel like a lot of Christians sleep on these days. Everyone's just in their own bubble, in their own world, always on their phone. I'm not saying your phone is just like, I'm not saying you're just being sinful if you're on your phone. I'm holding mine right now. But it's about being present. Like being present with the people that you're around and not worried about all the things about life, because you're going to miss the appointments God has for you. If you're just at a gas station and you just see someone across the end of the pump and they just having a bad day, like I've had that happen to me many times, and just, I don't know, feel like the Lord just nudged me to talk to them. Just tell them about God. And if you're not present, you miss those things. You miss the ability to rejoice with those who rejoice and weep with those who weep. So, yeah, that's the 4 things that I'm really trying to meditate on. Is Spirit-led, humble, forgiving, and present. If you're someone who is led by the Spirit, someone who walks in humility and doesn't consider yourself better than anyone else, is always seeking to learn from others and to serve. If you're forgiving of people who do you evil, and you pray for those, pray for your enemies, and then you're present with those around you, it's the mark of a Christian, right? It's the mark of being filled with the Spirit. So yeah, hopefully you guys took some of these takeaways that I did from Romans 12:9 and so forth. Yeah, hope we see you tomorrow.